we celebrate Easter. At this time of year, we often get lots of chocolate, especially marshmallow and chocolate. Oh, I love Easter eggs. But is that really the point of Easter? Is that what we celebrate at Easter? No. So let's use these Easter egg boxes to unpack the truth about what we celebrate at Easter. The Bible tells us that heaven is a place that is lined with streets of gold. This yellow reminds us about God and that He is holy, which means He is perfect and without sin. In the first book of the Bible, it tells us that God created the green grass and the green trees, but most importantly, He created us. And He created us to be close to Him, to be in a relationship with Him. But then something happened. We sinned. Sin is anything that goes against God. And because God is perfect and He is holy, He can't be around sin. And so our sin separated us from God. The punishment for sin is death, and there was nothing that we could do in our own strength to be close to God again. But God didn't leave us there. God sent His one and only Son, Jesus, who lived a perfect life to take on the punishment of sin. He died for us. But He didn't just die. On the third day, He rose again, so that when we believe in Him, we are forgiven. We are then made right with God. But God is such a generous God that He didn't stop there. He also gave us His Holy Spirit, which lives in us and guides us to follow His word. And because of this, because of what Jesus did on the cross when He died and came to life again, we are now made right with God. So let's recap. This yellow reminds us of the golden streets of heaven. It reminds us of God and how He is holy and perfect and without sin. The green reminds us that God created everything, but most importantly, He created us to be in a close relationship with Him. This black reminds us that our sin separated us from God, and there was nothing we could do to be made right with God again in our own strength. So God sent His Son, Jesus, who lived a perfect life, who took on the punishment for sin, which was death, and He died for us. But He not only died for us, He rose again 3 days later. And because of this, when we believe that Jesus died on the cross and came back to life again, we are forgiven. But God is a generous God, and He doesn't stop there. God also gave us His Holy Spirit. And this guides us and leads us and lives on in us so we can have a close relationship with God again. So that's it. That is the wonderful news that we celebrate at Easter.